At some point in life, the dynamic between parents and their children begins to evolve. After years of raising, nurturing, and making countless sacrifices for them, you might suddenly notice a shift. Perhaps they start disregarding your advice, overlooking your opinions, or speaking to you in a condescending manner. In some cases, they may even make you feel as though you're a burden, and that can be incredibly painful. If you found that your children no longer show you the respect you once received, feelings of frustration or anger might start to bubble up. You may feel compelled to remind them of all the sacrifices you've made and the love you've given. But here's the truth, getting upset won't help, and it often makes the situation worse. Instead, there is a more effective, peaceful way to regain the respect you deserve. Action 1. Stop seeking their validation. A common pitfall for parents, particularly as they age, is the tendency to overextend themselves in an effort to win their children's approval. You might catch yourself in this cycle, doing things you don't want to do, putting their desires before your own, or agreeing to things just to keep them happy, all in hopes that they will recognize and value your efforts. However, here's the harsh reality: the more you seek their validation, the more your respect for them diminishes. True respect isn't gained through endless self-sacrifice, it comes from honoring yourself. If you're always accommodating, giving in to every demand, and prioritizing harmony over your own needs, you're unintentionally teaching them that your emotions and well-being aren't important. And once that idea takes root, it becomes easy for them to overlook your value. Instead of constantly seeking their approval, stop acting like it's something you desperately need. As you begin to show self-respect, your children will start to recognize and appreciate you in a new light. Action 2. Lead by example, not by argument. When your children disregard your views or treat you poorly, it might be tempting to argue, to recount all the sacrifices you've made, and to demand their attention. However, here's an insight that could save you from years of frustration: arguing won't get you anywhere. Consider this: when was the last time you changed someone's perspective or earned their respect by engaging in a heated debate? Respect is earned through your actions, how you present yourself, and how you maintain composure when others challenge your boundaries. Responding with anger only reinforces their belief that they can control you. Instead, be the example you want them to follow. Demonstrate respect by treating yourself with honor, speaking with calmness, and standing with confidence. By maintaining your dignity and setting a steady example, they will learn to respect you naturally. Action 3. Release your emotional dependency. As you age, one of the most challenging realizations is that your children can't fulfill your emotional needs. While you may deeply love them and desire their affection and respect in return, if they sense that you are relying on them for emotional validation, the power dynamics in your relationship shift. Everyone, including your own children, tends to respect those who are emotionally self-sufficient. When you depend on them for affection, attention, or approval, it adds pressure, which may lead them to feel burdened instead of appreciative. They might distance themselves or respond with frustration. The more you pursue their affection, the less willingly they will offer it. Prioritize your own well-being, nurture your happiness, and you'll notice a shift in how they relate to you. Action 4. Establish boundaries and stand firm. A key reason why children begin to lose respect for their parents is that parents often permit it. If you tolerate disrespectful behavior, or let them treat you as if your time and emotions don't matter, they will continue this pattern, not because they intend to hurt you, but because people will treat you in accordance with what you allow. Setting boundaries isn't about cutting ties or creating tension. It's about calmly and confidently defining what behavior you will and won't accept. By consistently upholding these boundaries, your children will begin to view you with greater respect, as they will recognize that you honor yourself enough to set clear limits. Action 5. Stop offering without recognition. One of the fastest ways to lose respect is by constantly giving to others who take it for granted. As parents, this is something we often do without even realizing it, offering our time, effort, and support without receiving any appreciation in return. However, when you continue giving to someone who doesn't recognize it, you're not fostering love or respect, but rather creating expectations. They no longer view your kindness as a gift but as something they're entitled to. The moment you stop giving, they might feel frustrated instead of grateful. It's crucial to stop overcommitting yourself and learn to say no when it's necessary. By making your generosity dependent on respect, they'll start to appreciate your time and efforts more. Action 6. Create your own life beyond them. A powerful way to regain your children's respect is by demonstrating that your happiness isn't solely dependent on them. While it's natural to dedicate yourself to raising your children, as you age, this relationship dynamic may need to evolve. If you've spent the majority of your life focusing on their needs, they might begin to see you as someone with little else to offer. People are drawn to those who have their own goals and passions. If your children sense that you rely on them for entertainment or approval, it may lead to feelings of pressure. Instead, focus on building your own life, pursue hobbies, volunteer, join activities, and prioritize your own personal growth. By showing them that you are self-sufficient, you will earn their respect. Respect isn't something you can simply demand from your children, it's something you cultivate through your behavior. If you notice a decline in how they treat you, avoid letting anger consume you. Instead, change your approach. Stop seeking their approval and instead show them what true respect looks like. Establish clear boundaries, separate your emotional needs, and stop offering your efforts without being appreciated. Above all, focus on creating a life outside of them. By making these changes, something remarkable will occur. Your children will begin to view you in a new light, not as someone dependent on their attention, but as someone who naturally commands respect by simply being authentic. Over time, that respect will be restored, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it through your actions. We appreciate you tuning in today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What's one key takeaway from today's content, and how will you apply it moving forward? If you find this video valuable, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support allows us to continue bringing you more insightful content that educates and motivates.